In this video, we're going to be tidying up our level, getting rid of the blocks that we had in there before, adding our sketch, and importing some really cool assets, either from the asset store or from our wonderful artist Mikey, who's made us a whole bunch of trees and stuff and houses and castles. It's going to be fantastic. Okay, let's start the exciting process of making our level, turning our sketch into a reality. Speaking of our sketch, let's drag it in to our scenes folder, and then our previous inspiration, let's replace that with our new inspiration. There we go, magnifique. Might just want to scale it up a little bit for the whole world to see. There we go, look how huge that is. Wonderful. So we've got that there, looking pretty neat. And then we need to tidy up a little bit. And by tidying up, I'm going to get rid of these blocks that have served us well, but we don't need them anymore. I'm going to just highlight those in our hierarchy and hit delete. Wonderful, cleaning and tidying. Ben would be very impressed that we're tidying up. He loves tidying things up. It's one of his favorite things to do. And at the moment, I'll leave my couple of enemies there just so I've got a point of reference for my player so I can see the size of things just for the moment. And I'm going to do something very exciting, which is import some assets that Mikey has created for us. And these assets will be available to you as well. You can download them from the resources section and go through the exact same process as I'm going through. If you don't want to use Mikey's assets, that will A, break his heart, but B, not a problem. You can go to the asset store, find the asset store window up the top there, and then asset store or control 9. When you're in the asset store, you can search for whatever your heart desires. It could be sci-fi environments. We'll see what that brings up. You might be not wanting to pay any money. If you pay a little bit of money, you tend to get something a little bit better. But at this stage, not a problem. We're going to go through the exercise of importing and making sure that you can bring in assets in a way that's harmonious to your scene. So this one here looks pretty neat. And so if you're going for more of a sci-fi, then this might be something that you can bring in for now. If you're doing an interior with a movable camera, that might be useful for you. If you want to go a different sort of village, then you can search for that. So I'm sure you guys know about the asset store, but it's pretty easy. You can do it right within Unity here. Search for something, and you can this next step, you can either go by importing ours or import something for the asset store. And to import from the asset store, you would click the download button. But don't do that just yet, because I want to show you the full process with our importing assets that we're getting from Mikey. The important thing I want to emphasize here is there's a really good best practice, which is to go and start a new project. New project, we'll call this importing assets, and then save that wherever you like. You see my incredibly creative named folder just there. I'm going to create a project. I am going to save what we've done in the village. Make sure you do save that. Goodness me, or else we'd have to go and tidy up again. That would be Ben's dream come true, wouldn't it? Having to tidy up the scene twice. Cursing at Rick for his messy scene as he goes. We do love each other, don't worry. It's all fun banter. So we've got our brand spanking new project here, nice and empty, and you can see it's all nothing going on here. We're going to do a import package, custom package, navigate to the location of where you've got your package. Let me see if I can find it here. Okay, and world objects. There's the Unity package file. Click on that to import it. Now, the reason that we are going and doing this first in a blank project is you can see there's a structure already in place in the package. There's folder names, there's names of objects and prefabs. So it's already got a personality when you grab this package. And if we go and put that into our project, it's going to jam that personality into the existing personality of our project, and we're not exactly sure how it's going to fit. So I can take a look at it here. I can import it. So I've just gone and closed all those things so I can see what's going on. For this package we're getting from Mikey, our lovely artist, we're going to import the whole bunch of it. And we can see when it comes in, it's going to place it down in the assets folder down here in our project area. And we can see that he's laid it out in a pretty nice, neat way that matches the particular way that we're structuring our project. That's because we've had a conversation and we've agreed on what our standards and norms are. However, if you're bringing something in from the asset store, especially if it's free, and especially if you don't know the person who created it and maybe it doesn't have a lot of ratings yet, then they'll have their own structure, they'll have their own approach, and you'll need to give it a look-see, put it through a security check first, give it a little bit of a vet, if you will. Not an animal doctor, but as in to vet them that they're approved to do what they need to do. Okay, that's finished importing, and you can see there's two lovely folders here, blends, Mikey's Blender files. This is his art area. This is basically the area that he said to us, Ben and myself. He's like, don't touch that area, that's my domain. World objects, that's where you guys want to be hanging out. And this is where he's created a whole bunch of lovely, lovely prefabs for us. We can take a little bit of a look, drop things in. What's that guy there? Oh, that looks nice, doesn't it? That looks pretty spiffy. What's a watchtower? Okay, great. Got a spiked wall, that's excellent. I'm having a bit of trouble dropping it in here because I haven't set this up in a... I don't have a ground plane. Okay. Well, but anyway, so you can grab some stuff. You don't put a lot of time into this empty project. Just grab things and check it out. See how they look. And you can see lots of really cool prefabs. We've got some textures. We've got the village. Do we have a house? Ah, that was the main thing I was really hoping to get in here. So he's given me a house. Wonderful. Just click F to focus on you. Brilliant. Look at that. That's lovely. Okay, so we've got some great assets here. You can see that it's structured in a good way. Well done, Mikey. Ben will be very happy with this structure. Wonderful. So if you do need to change anything, name anything, rearrange it, maybe there's prefabs in the wrong folder or it's called the wrong thing or you've already got something called World Objects and you don't want it to go there, then you can go in, rename, change things around, add new folders if your heart desires. But for us, it's all named lovingly, beautifully, perfectingly. So we are going to go up to Assets, Export Package. Because there's only really one thing in our entire scene, then we are going to export all of that stuff. Make sure we don't accidentally export, say, the main camera, for example, that we don't need. Looks pretty good. We've got these two folders. And then we click Export, and you can export to wherever your heart desires, somewhere that you're going to remember. And once we import it back in, we don't really need this, so I'm just going to shove it on my desktop for now. And we're going to call it World Objects version 1, which is what it was originally called. Okay, now this is assuming you've made some changes. If you haven't made any changes, you can just bring it straight into your project. This is assuming that we've gone in, we've changed things around a little bit, and therefore we need to export it. And that exporting process, it's going to take a while, but it's definitely worth it if you needed to do some shuffling, you needed to change some things, delete some things, move them around. So I'll spare you that process of seeing me export and then, oh, it's already done. There we go. Guess I won't spare you that process. So we've got our thing that we've gone in, we've given it a filter, and now it's all ready. So go back to your main project, open that back up again. Open your project. For us, it's Core Combat. We don't need to save our monkeying around because we exported. We did what we needed to do. Going to go into the scene. This is going to be super exciting because we're about to get a whole ton of really cool assets to come back into our scene here. We're in Rick's Village scene, I think. Oh, we're in the asset store. Okay, so there we go, back in here. And we're now going to do the proper import package, custom package. World Objects, that's the one that we just did our re-export on, so we'll bring that in. It's giving us the option. This all looks very beautiful, pretty similar to the process we did before. Going to hit import, and then it's probably going to take a little bit of time, so I'll pause the recording and come back when mine is all nicely imported. Okay, that's finished importing, and let's just have a look. We can see the blends folder. It looks like it's got what we expected. World Objects. Okay, lots of great things. If I now go and grab the things I'm particularly interested in at the moment is my house. Whoop, there we go. And look, it's actually putting it into the right spot. That's wonderful. Check out some of the other stuff that he's got, that dungeon entrance. And I want to make sure I've got some trees. Just bring in the prefabs here. Okay, great. So we've got our assets ready. We've got our sketch. So over to you for a challenge. Now it's time for you to tidy up your scene and import, either using the asset pack we've provided from Mikey or a asset pack from the store, from the asset store, and make sure you have everything cleaned up and you're ready to start blocking things out in the next video.